Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with the Hump Day edition of Today in Sports Betting. Taking a look at this vast NBA card with the only person who could possibly wade through it with me. It's Scott Reichel. Scott, you strapped in, you got a snack, you hydrated, you ready to rock and roll as we go through the entire NBA schedule?
A lot of games on the card. Do you have a nice numero uno on the card?
One time.
Hopefully it's as good as the Utah Clippers game last night.
Don't want to talk
Paul
about
George back to being pandemic P. Kawhi didn't really do much. Marcus Morris, the guy who tried to take the game-winning shot, I'm not going to blame him because he got the ball in his hands with Gobert on him with about 4 seconds left. But he was a very
pretty
nice
good switch right there, by the way.
4 for 14, 1 for 9 from 3. Let's let that guy shoot it. Ty Lue, you have a timeout. You know, you can use it anytime you want.
Anytime. You're not saving them for next time.
Let's keep Rondo on the court down the stretch who can't shoot. Great idea.
Have him try to put up a critical three. That's what
Rondo 1 for 3, 5.6 assists. I know Reggie Jackson fouled out, but
Paul George.
You couldn't. Well, I already talked about Paul George, but
what did he shoot from 3?
Paul George from 3 was 3 for 8, which was actually not terrible for the 4 for 17 from field goal that he had. Kawhi was 1 for 4 from 3.
Wait. He was 3 for 8 from 3 and 1 for 9 from everywhere else?
Correct. He was 4 for 17.
Yikes.
So, yeah, he didn't play too well. But at the end of the day, I know Kawhi didn't have an open look. And I know that you can argue fading to your right like that's not the shot you want. I like that shot more than Marcus Morris over Gobert, I'll tell you that much. But I would have loved a timeout, and Ty Lue did absolutely nothing down the stretch.
Nope. Well, they did it. They did enough to put it over, so that was great.
That's true. It's also from a lack of defense, but
there were better numbers out there. Somebody might have had that at because I think it pretty much went off at 221.5 across.
Well, Utah pushed because I know that when we capped it, I think it was at 3. It was a bad spot for the Clippers, and considering how badly the big two played for them, they still almost won the game. But damn, Ty Lue's awful at making adjustments mid-game. Like, wow, he's bad.
Not a brilliant tactician.
And I'm not going to overreact to beating Dallas. We looked at Dallas' supporting cast. They're not that good.
No.
Anyway, oh well.
All right. Well, we got one game on the card. We got one game on the card for tonight. It's going to be the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns. This game opened up at 6. It's 6. It opened up at 222.5. Starting to see a little 222 creep in there, Scott, but it's still 22.5 at most spots. Oh, Scott, Denver absolutely had nothing for him the first game. Nothing.
They did for a half.
They had nothing for him. That's the first half. That's just the howdy do cocktail hour, nice to meet you kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm just saying, game was close for about 2.5, 3 quarters. Then the fourth quarter happened, and Chris Paul took over the game.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what good players do, Scott.
That's what top 5 point guards of all time do, actually.
I wish they had one.
Yeah.
Was Bob Cousy suiting up?
Yeah, we will always disagree with the Chris Paul top 5 angle, but
it's really kind of a minor disagreement because I'll give you a top 10. I just don't think he's top 5.
Yeah, it's fair. I know some people were waiting to see if he has actual playoff success, like maybe making a finals once before they actually make that statement, but I just think he's an all-time great point guard. But either way, you look at Denver, you had Campazzo, who I actually thought was pretty good in game 1 until you noticed the minus 14. But I thought he played pretty well. Rivers was a complete non-factor, 2 for 7. You look at the bench, you gave Morris some minutes, 1 for 10, 2 points, minus 28, which was easily double the second worst plus-minus on the team. Actually, there was a minus 15 on there for JaMychal Green, but minus 28 is in another stratosphere on bad. But I'm assuming Morris will play better. But looking at the rest of the lineup here, Aaron Gordon was surprisingly good, 8 for 14 from the floor. Porter was okay at 15. He's going to need to do more. Jokic, 10 for 23. 22-9 sounds good. It's not good enough for this team, I'll tell you that much. But
that's pretty much 4 under his season average.
Correct. And you're looking at Phoenix. Yeah. Every starter had at least 14 points. 4 players had at least 20 points who started. That's a lot of depth. And you can't beat that if they do that again.
The big men had 57 points. We talked about Jokic and his lack of defense. Porter's no great shakes either. So consequently,
neither's Paul Millsap off the bench.
Yeah, also true. Ayton had 20. So
Aiden at 20, Paul at 21, Booker at 21. Booker with a very quiet 21, only attempted 12 shots, which I found really shocking.
You call that efficient, Scott?
It was very efficient. I'm just saying, I just figured he would shoot more, but you didn't really need to. And Mikal Bridges goes 8 for 12 for 23 points. So
here's what I worry about for the Nuggets. You know, they
can't guard anybody.
What's that?
They can't guard anybody.
Well, I'm also worried about how they're going to score against this team. They didn't shoot terribly. They shot 46.7% from the field. That's not that far below their season average. They usually shoot about 48.5. Shot 35% from downtown. They usually shoot 38. That's not a huge difference there. That's about 1 3-pointer. The problem was the person they needed to shoot the best shot terribly. Jokic shot just 43% from the floor. And you're saying, well, you know, that's not horrible, especially for an off night. However, you know what he shot during the regular season, Scott?
Higher than that?
Higher than that. He shot 57% during the regular season. That's a problem. That's a problem. Now, I do think that Denver will score more than 105 in this game.
That I can see.
I do think that there's if you look at Jokic and Porter, 22 and 15, 37 points between them. I think you can definitely look for an increase in points between those two guys. I'll tell you what I do like here. I did my play of the day video on it, Scott. I think the safe player is the over. I do like the over 222. I just don't see. You know, Denver may get Barton back for this one. He's missed 20 games with a hamstring.
Just a friendly reminder, if you have a guy missing a lot of time, it's not always a spark. Sometimes it's detrimental because he's completely flat out there.
Yeah, very, very true. And we'll see how he's limited with the hamstring. I don't know. How many do you think Barton gives him?
Assuming he even plays, but I'll give him 20 minutes.
Yeah,
and Barton tends to shoot a decent amount. I'll give him like 7 points.
Okay.
I don't know if they'll be efficient or not, but I'll give him 7.
Think he helps on defense at all?
He's never really been a good defender. I know that was the only thing Gary Harris ever did for this team, even though he couldn't shoot, which is why they got rid of him. But not really. He gives you another body out there. I mean, you don't have to use Rivers as much, so you have a somewhat.
Yeah, I mean that's the advantage. You see less of Rivers.
Yeah, you have somewhat of a bigger body, but once again, he's going to be somewhat compromised, like just health-wise, and now he has to guard against arguably Booker or Paul or any of these guys. Maybe that's a disaster. So no, I don't think it's going to play much of a factor.
Yeah, this is a Denver defense that just isn't.
It's not good.
They're not doing well in the playoffs. They're giving up 119 points per game in the playoffs, and that's not counting the OT period against Portland. I think Phoenix may not put up 122 again, but I think you can definitely pencil them in for 115 plus. And I think Denver probably works harder to keep it closer. I think there's plenty of meat on the bone with the Phoenix Suns being in the mid-teens or better. I think 222 is the overplay there.
Okay, now my question for you, just to go through game one briefly, because I know you went through most of it, but just one other point to mention here for Denver.
All right.
In today's NBA, how often do you think a referee calls a foul? Once every 2.5 possessions for a given team?
So you're going to do it on possessions?
Yeah, just possessions. Like a given team, one out of every 3.
Yeah, that sounds right.
How do you attempt 6 free throws in an entire game? Are you serious? 6 free throws? Really? Denver? Yeah. Are you serious? 6? That's what we're doing now? I know you scored 105, and that's why you think Denver can score more. It's the free throw disparity that really just kind of showcased itself in game one. Now, Phoenix only attempted 20. It wasn't like the Lakers who attempt 35 or like Philadelphia with Embiid who just gets to the line 20-something times by himself. But 6 free throw attempts? Are you serious?
Yeah, you would think Jokic would have 6 free throw attempts by himself on a bad night.
He had 0.
Yeah, I understand.
I'm just saying, if we're going through the 6, Jokic didn't even have any. So that's a serious problem. But looking at this matchup here, I got to agree with the over just because Denver didn't really do much to stop Phoenix. I don't think Phoenix is going to have 4 guys go for 20 again, but I think Booker can easily go for 30-plus. So I think you'll find some, I'd say dividing it up a little bit more naturally with Booker going for 30 and Bridges probably going back down towards 15 as opposed to 23 or so.
Yeah.
But I think that might be where I would look maybe for a player prop. I know that they divided up the wealth quite well, but I do think Booker should have a pretty big game because Denver really can guard him. And I could see Booker potentially taking the game over if he needs to late. Paul at 21, which I know he seems healthier now, but that still seems a little bit higher than what he's been producing. I think Paul's more of an 18 guy, give or take. Yeah. But I think Booker could have a big game there. I think Porter's going to need to have a bigger game for Denver if they want to keep it close. Jokic just has to go for 30-plus if they want any shot to win this game. I mean, 22-9 sounds nice. It would be nice for Ayton. When you're the MVP in the league, you pretty much have to go for, I don't even know, 34-12 at this point.
Yeah.
No, with no Jamal Murray. I mean, that's kind of what you have to go for, right?
Yeah, Jokic has got to be the man. He's got to step up. He's got to shoot better. He's got to score more. He's got to get to the line.
Now, having said everything that I did, I'm actually going to look at Denver plus the points, maybe just for this spot. It's kind of just wishful thinking because I really just don't want to see Phoenix run away with this thing. I kind of just want it to be a good series, but Denver only got 6 free throws and they still hung around for about 2.5, 3 quarters. I think that if Porter gives them a little bit more and if Jokic gives them a little bit more, I'm expecting Phoenix's supporting cast with Ayton and Bridges to not combine for 43 points. So I'm expecting a little bit of regression there. I think 6 is a little bit too much, but I also thought that whatever the spread was in game 1 was too much, and Phoenix buried them in the fourth quarter. So Denver first half, maybe, just a sense of urgency. But yeah, I don't really have any strong opinions about this game, as you can tell.
Okay. Well, I do have a premium on the side, so I'm gonna defer there. But I don't
know if you have any thoughts about the first half. Denver has to show something. Like if they just come out flat, it's over. And they were winning at halftime in game 1.
Yeah, they were. Well, they're up by 2, up by 4.
They're up 1, I think. But still, the point is they're going to be getting around 3.5 or so since the spread is 6 in this spot. I think Denver's going to hang around and give them a brief punch in the mouth early in the first quarter. So first half is probably where I'd look for Denver. But as for the total, it's either over or pass.
All right. We will see how that goes. As always, if you're looking for more information, more bets, more possibilities, make sure you stop by and check out winnersandwhiners.com. Deep dives, predictions into every game, every day, not just sides and totals, first half plays, player props, that kind of thing. It is your one-stop shop for all things sports betting related. Appreciate you guys watching today. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. Wish you nothing but the best. Hope every one of those tickets in your pocket turns into cash money when you head back to the window. For myself, for Scott, for all of us over here at Winners and Whiners, guys, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Hey, stay tuned. We'll be doing our baseball video right around the corner on the part 2 of Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.